Today's episode, a bit of a homage to Rob Hirst, the late, great Rob Hirst, drummer of influential, amazing rock band Midnight Oil. If you're from Australia, I don't know if you have not heard of Midnight Oil. If you haven't, shame on you. Go and listen to some records. Look, it was a great shame to hear that he passed away earlier this year. Is not just a rock drumming icon, but I was actually privileged enough to work with him in a previous life when I was in and around the music scene, and we did some sessions in the studio on a number of occasions. One of the most lovely men you've ever met, even though he could have easily been a wanker rock star. But the whole purpose of this episode is to tell you something he said to me that really stuck. And I still to this day take it to my desk, and I think it's totally applicable to what we do in recruitment. We're in the studio, he was recording some drums, and we're having a chat, having a cup of tea, and he said, yeah, and at this point, Midnight Oil had actually, stopped touring for all those years. Peter Garrett had gone into politics, and so the idea that Midnight Oil were coming back to play hadn't been talked about for years and years and years, but it just so happened when we were hanging out with him, they announced this new global tour, and it was happening in about 6 months' time. We said to Rob, are you excited? He's like, I am excited. I'm super nervous. I'm going to have to literally hit the gym for 6 months straight, like literally every day. I'm going to put weights on my drumsticks. I'm going to hit the treadmills. I've got to get fit. I've got to get strong because I know how demanding that job is, playing night in, night out. If you haven't seen them before, they would play for 4 hours a night. They were massive sets. But this whole concept that he knew what he needed to do to perform at the level he wanted to perform at was insane. And he did. He went for 6 months. He went hard at the gym. He went from skinny little arms to big jacked up arms again. He said his fitness went through the roof. That amount of preparation he put in to do a world tour and to deliver his craft to everyone who paid tickets to go and see him was insane. And I want to ask you a question. Do you ever feel that prepared for what you're doing? Do you ever think what you're doing at your desk, whilst not traipsing the world, drumming and being a rock star, maybe it's actually quite important? You're there to generate income for yourself, for your family. You're there to help people find jobs. You're there to help clients, solve problems within their businesses, through human capital solutions. How prepared do you feel for that? Are you doing the reps? Are you putting in that pre-fitness? Are you doing all the things outside of work to prepare you for your gig? Okay? Again, it's not as exciting as being a rock and roll star, I'm assuming, but it's still as important because this is the lane you've chosen to take. Okay? If not making a decision is the decision, i.e. your decision is this is where I'm at, I'm a recruiter, I'm in sales or whatever craft you're in, why don't we make the most of it? So if you're not preparing to the level of a Rob Hirst for what you do, then maybe you should ask yourself, could I be doing more? Is there something more I could be doing outside of work? And you know what this podcast is about. This is all about what is the extra bits and pieces you can do that maybe not be technical at your desk. What is their mindset, resilience, motivational, metabolic? What are these things that we can do to help feed success at our desk? Think of Rob Hirst. 6 months out, he knew he had to hit the gym, hit the gym hard and the fitness hard, and he did for 7 days straight for 6 months straight so that he was ready to perform. Are you that level ready to perform? That's my question for you today. It's not a long episode. They don't always have to be. I thought it was a great little anecdote, a nod to Rob. We were going to miss you. Farewell, my friend. That's all we have time for today. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals come